There's one more move. I'm sorry this is a big step back, which is to say, please don't think that physics gives us any reason to think that consciousness isn't as real as we ordinarily take it to be, because physics is just a matter of equations and it doesn't tell us about the ultimate intrinsic nature of matter. It leaves that open. So the way is open for being an outright realist about consciousness and a physicalist. So I reject their very starting point, which is commitment to physicalism and the belief that that gives them reason to be somehow less than realist about consciousness. Mm-hmm. That's the sort of dialect.
Right.
I can, but I'd say it was a mistake. Here the problem is that the word physical is getting used in two ways. One of them ties the word physical closely to the kind of thing that physics tells us about. And the other just uses it as a word for whatever is out there, whatever its nature. And if you want to find people who define themselves as physicalists and think that consciousness is wholly physical, look at some of the great physicists of the last century, like sort of Heisenberg and Schrödinger and probably Einstein, although don't quote me on that, and perhaps Planck also, certainly Whitehead, and all those people thought that everything was physical, but they thought that physics, the theory of physics, simply didn't have anything to say about the ultimate intrinsic nature of things. So that left room for them to say that consciousness too is physical, although of course it isn't like a stone that you kick.
So physics tells us how to manipulate the fundamental stuff of reality. It doesn't tell us what the fundamental stuff of reality is.
Doesn't tell us. It tells us quite a lot of things. It tells us that in my brain, there are 8-ish things, that's oxygen, and there are 7-ish things, there are nitrogen atoms. It does lots of stuff with numbers and structures and relations, but it doesn't tell us about the nature of the stuff that it is describing in all those mathematical ways.
Right.
The only thing we know, in my view, the only thing we know for sure about it is that sometimes it manifests as the kind of consciousness we're having right now.
That physics manifests as that.
No. The physical stuff
manifests as that.
That stuff. And physics gives us lots of really interesting